Welcome back to the flagship show. If you think this is just another day of noise, I have news for you. We are standing on a precipice of moral contradiction so sharp it should cut us all in some number. Look at what he's shared today. It isn't just content, it's a timeline of deliberate destabilization wrapped in the flag of patriotism. Let's start with the bombshell that opens this whole thread, because if you miss this, you're missing the entire point of why we are here. He has posted an image, a declassified National Intelligence Council memorandum dated January 15, 2020. The document is titled Vulnerabilities in U.S. 2020 Election Infrastructure. But look closer at the stamps on that page he shared. It says Declassified by DNIGABBARD on 16 March 2026, and right below it, approved for public release by President Trump on 3 July 2026. Do you see the timing? He is holding this up now, in mid-July of 2026, after a delay that spans months. The image shows blacked-out classifications and the NIC seal, assessing that Russia, China, Iran, and North Korea have capabilities to compromise U.S. election systems for the 2020 presidential election, but it does not confirm specific plans or intentions beyond capability. Why release this now? After 4 years of claiming fraud without evidence, he finally shares a document from intelligence agencies saying foreign actors had capabilities, but did not confirm they executed them on our behalf in that cycle. It is the ultimate bait and switch. He uses the shadow of vulnerabilities to validate his entire career-long narrative while quietly admitting the specific plans were never confirmed. And then, immediately following this heavy lift about election security, he pivots hard into a different kind of spectacle. He links out to Breitbart with an exclusive story. Azerbaijani President Ilham Aliyev lauds Trump as man peace credits him Armenia-Azerbaijan deal. And then, there is the image he posted alongside it. It's a political news graphic, bold black headline text above a photo of three men shaking hands at a polished wooden table. From left to right, Azerbaijani President Ilham Aliyev in a dark suit, former U.S. President Donald Trump center stage in a blue suit and tie, and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu on the right in gray. Behind them, a sea of military service branch flags, the Navy, Space Force, Marine Corps, Air Force, Army, Coast Guard, Special Operations Command. The credit line reads White House photo by Daniel Torok. Look at that staging. He is positioning himself as a global peacemaker surrounded by the machinery of war. It's jarring. While we're back home worrying about whether our elections can even function because foreign powers have capabilities to hack them, he is out there shaking hands with authoritarian leaders and claiming credit for deals in regions where blood has been spilling for decades. Is this peace, or is it just a photo op designed to distract from the crumbling foundation of domestic trust? And that brings us to the next thread, because he doesn't stop at foreign diplomacy. He doubles down on militarization right here in Pennsylvania. He links another Breitbart piece. Trump announces nearly $10 billion in defense industrial base investments in Pennsylvania at McCormick's summit. Then comes his own post, Pure Fire and Brimstone of Industry. With today's announcement, Pennsylvania will play a key role in building the arsenal of freedom to defend our nation in the modern world. He calls it an arsenal of freedom, Vera Sloan reporting. Nearly some number dollars. That is not just money. That is a fortune poured into steel and gunpowder while we argue about whether our voting machines are secure. The timing here is absolutely staggering. First, he declassifies a document saying foreign powers can touch our election systems. Then, he announces some number to build more weapons under the banner of freedom. It's as if the message is, since you cannot trust your vote, we must now rely entirely on force. We are building an arsenal because democracy itself has been compromised by these vulnerabilities he just unveiled. And amidst this gravity, the election vulnerabilities, the some number dollar weapon deals, he drops a headline that feels like a fever dream: Freedom 250 Grand PRIX, with emojis of race cars and flags. Racing checkered, what does this mean? Is he turning our national security strategy into an auto racing event? While the world burns, while intelligence documents are being unsealed to suggest systemic rot in our democracy, we have a Freedom Grand Prix. It feels like a desperate attempt at normalcy, or perhaps a mockery of how serious things actually are. He connects these threads himself. Election insecurity leads to global diplomacy with strongmen, which leads to massive domestic military spending, all framed as saving freedom. And while he is posting this cascade of contradictions, declassified memos, some number for weapons, photos of handshakes amidst flags, the markets are reacting. The crypto space specifically, it is a total mess. Look at the feed. XBTCUSD moved, then X, ETHUSD moved, and they kept moving over and over again. Bitcoin swung, Ethereum whipsawed. It was volatile, choppy, relentless. You cannot put a number on this because no one knows where it's going. But look at the correlation of events without claiming causation. Because God forbid we simplify human complexity. But right as he unleashes these posts about election vulnerabilities and massive defense spending announcements, Bitcoin and Ethereum are in absolute chaos. They moved repeatedly throughout the day. Is that a coincidence? Maybe. Or maybe investors are looking at this arsenal of freedom and realizing that if our elections can be compromised by foreign actors with just capabilities, then what is stable anymore? Let's sit in that discomfort for a moment. He says Pennsylvania will build the arsenal to defend us in the modern world. But which version of us are we defending? The one where foreign powers have capabilities to hack our 2020 election infrastructure, or the one where he is shaking hands with presidents who don't share our democratic values? The document he posted says Russia, China, Iran, and North Korea could do it. It doesn't say they did, but the implication hangs in the air like smoke from a factory fire. And then you have this $10 billion investment figure, nearly 10 billion. He touts that number as if it's salvation. Pennsylvania will play a key role, he says, a role. Or is it an excuse to funnel public money into private defense contractors, while the integrity of our own vote hangs in the balance? We cannot let this slide. The image with the three men, Aliyev, Trump, Netanyahu, isn't just a photo, it's a signal. It signals an alliance built on power, not principles. And behind them are those flags, Space Force, Special Operations Command. This is militarization of everything. He wants us to believe that building more weapons in Pennsylvania will solve the problem of election vulnerabilities exposed by his own declassified document. That makes no sense morally or logically. If our systems are vulnerable, why aren't we fixing the software? Why are we buying more guns? The market volatility tells you something too. The algorithms and the traders know this is unstable ground. Bitcoin moved again. Ethereum swung again. It's a choppy sea of uncertainty that mirrors exactly what he has done to the national conversation. Let me be clear, we are seeing a pattern here. A document from 2020, declassified in March and approved by him in July, is used as ammunition for today's defense spending pitch. The Freedom 250 Grand Prix sounds like a marketing stunt to sell this narrative of speed and power while the foundation crumbles. He claims he has made peace deals. The image shows handshakes with flags of war behind them, and now we are told some number will be spent on an arsenal in Pennsylvania. It's all connected, friends. The vulnerability report is the opening act for a massive defense buildup justified by fear. Fear that foreign actors could hack us, so we must spend nearly some number dollars to make sure no one can stop us from defending ourselves with steel and lead. And yet, through all of this, the declassified memo, the handshake photos, the some number in defense contracts, the race car emojis, Bitcoin moved. Ethereum moved again. It's been a day of swings and whipsaws with no clear direction other than chaos itself. That is the only honest reflection of what we are seeing on that screen right now. He posts an image saying, Declassified by DNIGABBARD, and then immediately pivots to building weapons in Pennsylvania. The moral urgency here cannot be understated. How do you defend freedom by revealing your systems were vulnerable while simultaneously pouring some number into the military-industrial complex? It's a trap, and he is inviting us all right inside it, smiling that blue suit smile with Aliyev and Netanyahu behind him. Do not look away. This isn't just news. It's a performance piece on how to distract from the truth of our own fragility while promising salvation through force. The market moved, yes, Bitcoin and Ethereum were volatile all day, but that volatility is just money reacting to uncertainty about what kind of future we are building here in Pennsylvania with this arsenal. Is it freedom? Or is it a fortress built on lies?